Welcome to Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. My name is Tom.
Hi, Tom.
And I'm a fantasy sports addict.
And my name is Ryan.
Howdy, Ryan.
I'm a little dizzy, but I'm also a fantasy sports addict.
Okay, this afternoon, we're here talking about, the all-pitching strategy for 2016 fantasy baseball.
So, Tom actually did a draft and inadvertently
It's not my fault.
did all-pitching strategy.
So, sometimes this will sort of dictate your strategy to you, where you're picking in the first round. If I were trying to accomplish the all-pitching strategy, personally, I'd probably be looking to pick somewhere in between first through maybe sixth in
an early
in your first
pick?
round. Yeah, early snake draft. The thought being that you're probably going to go Kershaw. Now, my personal preference would be, instead of Kershaw, to start off the pitching strategy, you got to get your offensive cornerstone, that just big batting average, big production, like Paul Goldschmidt, Bryce Harper, Mike Trout.
So you
one of
want
those
a
big
top
three
pick, and then you're going to do a pitching strategy with
from
a
there
top
on.
pick.
Yes. Now, if you happen to end up all right.
But
like
if you get 4 through 6, then you take Kershaw, and you go even more balls deep.
Right, unless Kershaw happens to go number 1 overall, like we saw in our draft
That's
last night.
not going to happen normally.
But that's the example we're going to be showing today in terms of like the pitching strategy team. This is very similar to your punting strategy for, basically punting offense, and you're just the heavy rebounds. This is for basketball that you do. It's a win to 5-4 in a head-to-head league.
Okay.
I mean, it's basically you want to slam all of certain categories.
You're trying to win basically every pitching stat.
That's the goal here. That's what I went for last night. And it is tough. I mean, you've got to be aggressive. When you're going to go for a punting strategy, you've got to commit, go hard for it. And so, luckily last night at 4th pick, I was expecting to do Kershaw and then just all pitching from there on. But I still was able to get my offensive cornerstone through some weird maneuverings that happened in pre-ranking.
So this is more like if you had a top pick.
And you went one of
Trout.
Goldie, Trout, or Harper.
Right.
So after that, I was, all right, so after that in the first round, basically you're looking at 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, those like early middle rounds. That's where you're going to find the bulk of your quality pitching for this pitching strategy. I ended up going with guys like Chris Sale, Jose Fernandez, Matt Harvey, Chris Archer. And that's a big four.
Big four for
and
sure.
And that's minus Kershaw. If I had Kershaw with that, could you imagine?
Right.
I mean, that's like, boom. All right, pitching strategy, right? But there's some other guys you'd be looking in that range. As early as Sale. There's also Jake Arrieta, Madison Bumgarner, Zach Greinke. I would recommend skipping Felix Hernandez. I don't dislike David Price.
One thing about doing this all-pitching strategy, usually you want to try to stuff one offensive category, either batting average or
home
stolen
runs or stolen bases. Yeah. But
usually
you can punt
home runs
else.
are going to be hard to get with the pitching strategy.
Unless you're lucky.
The big bats go early when you're taking your pitchers. And
you can get late power, though. This is what I've
you can, but I'm just saying,
I've become quite good at it.
People pay for home runs.
Right. All right, so also later on when we talk about like Matt Harvey, you got Jacob deGrom, Garrett Cole, Chris Archer, Sonny Gray, stuff like that. There are a few pitchers I might avoid, like Steven Strasburg, Felix Hernandez, and Cole Hamels. John Lester probably in this range. But from that point forward, now you're committing to closers.
Okay, so
you're going to pay. You're going to pay for your closing.
Again, normally I don't advocate paying for closers.
I don't either. But when you're committing to the punting strategy and the all-pitching strategy team, you're going to be trying to get Kimbrel, Chapman, Wade Davis, Kenley Jansen, stuff like that. I came away with Jansen and Chapman as a starting point.
It's a good starting point. How many closers do you normally end up with?
At least 3 or 4. I mean, you got to. I'm assuming, like in my case, where I have 4, I'm also going to be stacking through the waiver process and the ad drops that'll happen throughout the year.
Just the closer carousel.
Right. That's going to happen. You're going to find extra saves out there. It happens every year. At this point in the draft, I did circle back around for some offense. I think I might have taken 1 or 2 more pitchers, but I went with some Lindor, Soler, Billy Burns for my stolen bases, Byron Buxton for my stolen bases. Again, there's a lot of like boom or bust players after this because I'm totally bailing on offense. I'll show you the lineup in the video. You can take a look at it. Like, this is totally like I've got anchor pieces, guys you can trust, and you got boom or bust. And at this point, you're not afraid of adding or dropping anybody.
You gotta be,
because you've got you're gonna be aggressive, but you got your pitching staff. And just as an example of like this team's pitching staff ended up being Chris Sale, Jose Fernandez, Aroldis Chapman, Kenley Jansen, Matt Harvey, Chris Archer, Yu Darvish, Roberto Osuna, Will Smith, Andrew Haney. Andrew Haney was the last pick in the draft.
Good last pick.
A lot of upside.
I mean, there's still a lot of late pitching to add to your pitching strategy later in the draft. Like, go heavy pitching, fill out your offense, and then you can round out your pitching late.
Well, don't be afraid of that DL stash. We're still got like Yu Darvish, Zach Wheeler out there, very high upside pitchers that coming off of Tommy John, maybe we'll get something out of them. So hopefully this is helpful. If you're going to go to our punting strategy, commit. Be aggressive about it.
That's the thing with any punting strategy is you got to fully commit.
And stay aggressive on the waiver wire as you go.
Number one way to lose the league is by not fully committing to a punting strategy because then you just fuck yourself right out the goddamn window.
You got to be aggressive. Speaking of, fantasy guy.
Fantasy guy.
Please grant me the serenity to set my ideal lineup and a punting strategy for pitching. Courage to add drop pitching aggressively. And wisdom, as always, to make good trades for more pitching, like Trout for Kershaw. Woo! I'm in.
I'm in.
Check out our website, fantasysportsaddicts.com. Hit us up on Twitter, @letter S, the word double, letter A, @FSAA. We'll answer any of your questions. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Fantasysportsaddicts.com.
Didn't I say that?
I said it again. I'm emphasizing it.
Okay, yeah, and tell us what you think about the pitching strategy. Is it something you'd try?
I don't recommend it.
I don't either, but I've done it and I've won with it, so I don't mind. Just got to be aggressive. Feels good. And if you have any questions, hit us up. Thank you.